but the stream will be able to see you. So.
If you have anything to say, just raise your hand. I'll be looking at you.
No, we can see you now. Look.
Oh, I can't. We all can see you now.
Okay.
It's like we're all sitting in a room.
It's like we're all sitting here, boys.
Except I'm blind.
Oh. Not actually, though. We might as well be, you know. Are we recording? Oh, cool. Always love that. Yeah, cool. We are all together for once. It's been, I don't know, months.
Except for Nick.
Together on the show together.
Oh, yeah. We're on the show together at the same time. It's pretty cool. Oh, boy. Hey, Nick. Welcome.
Welcome, Nick.
What up?
So we got our normal football stuff going on, and I do actually want to talk about another football thing to start. I'm going to ask Nick about NASCAR, but I wanted to actually mention, this is a weird, just jumping right in kind of thing, but the Ravens-Chiefs game, how it ended in the fourth down call, John Harbaugh going for it, 4th and 1 to ice the game. What'd you guys think about that?
It was a brilliant move. It was a smart move, too. It was gutsy, for sure, but you don't want to give Patrick Mahomes a minute to, or 30 seconds to march down the field and kick a field goal on you. Like, you play to win the game, I thought for a Harbaugh, that's pretty gutsy,
Our Harbaugh's not usually gutsy?
Yeah, they're a bunch of wimps.
Wow.
I hate all the Harbaughs.
Yeah. Did I say on the show last week my favorite Jim Harbaugh quote? If you could have such a thing.
No.
About the chickens.
No.
I've mentioned
Please share.
Before. Oh,
please share.
No, well, he did a press conference and he told a reporter that he doesn't like his players eating chicken, and they asked why, and he said because it's a nervous bird. He doesn't want his players.
That's it.
Well, yeah.
It's a nervous bird.
It's a nervous bird. He didn't want his players eating.
I think that joke was pretty foul.
All right, I hate all of this.
Okay, well, anyway, my only point in bringing it up was I kind of wanted to just talk just generally about how sports fandom has changed and it kind of centers around that 4th down call because I agree. I think it was a good call. I think it was the right call, but I don't know that we always would have thought that. Like 10 years ago.
Might have been considered disrespectful.
Disrespectful, maybe. But also, we've just, as fans, we've gotten so knowledgeable about stats and analytics and what the actual risks are that I don't even know that it is a gutsy call because it makes sense. You have one of the best quarterbacks in the league. You've been running on their defense all night. You need 1 yard and the game's over. Like, you kind of go for it. And it's not even like you're that deep in your own territory. I don't know that it's that gutsy, but 10 years ago, it probably would have been very gutsy.
Yeah, and it was just unheard of at the time. You always just punt the ball, on 4th down and bury them deep back in their yard and just rely on the defense. That's what they always say. You got to rely on your defense. But I mean, I think in today's game, like you're saying, with statistics, all type of stuff, I feel like the fan base, like if they didn't convert, maybe like it was just a really close play and Lamar didn't cross the line, and I don't think most of the fans would be like, sucks they didn't get it, but like, man, that's probably still the right move there because Mahomes is going to score anyways, or they're going to get to field goal range anyways. Like they're like people, it's that'd be a very forgiving non-conversion, I think.
Now I'm kind of convincing myself that it is.
Oh, here's a question. Because I kind of disagree. I don't think we would have thought about it very different, years ago. So I feel like, for me, I'm always the mindset if you can't get a yard, you deserve to lose, But that being said, think about, that play reminded me of the 4th and 2 with the Patriots and the Colts. What was it? Was it in the AFC Championship game? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. 2012,
It's like
maybe?
Belichick went for it, man, and they didn't get it, but it's 2 yards. You got to go for it, man. I still think that was a good call, You just got to, execute, but which they didn't, which I'm glad they didn't. But,
The only difference
I don't know.
That call was that they were really deep in their own territory. I mean, they were losing, not converting that. They were the Colts were already in field goal range. So
right,
now,
which
before we continue, because I have like a ton of this to drink.
Okay, so I meant that was my bad, and so Andrew and I are both in the hole for these helmet inconveniences. So Andrew's got 2 Hios, I've got 1. Nick has a ghost 1 that we have to confirm, but I want to kind of get ahead of it, and I think Andrew does too. Andrew's doing People versus OJ. He's got to drink this container of orange juice. It's quite large.
Do not puke on my garage.
He doesn't have to chug it.
It's 1.7 liters, and I have to drink it throughout the course of this show.
And I'm doing Jelly Belly. I went out and purchased Smucker's strawberry jelly. It's 12 ounces. I originally, so I wrote and made a lot of these inconveniences, and I didn't think they were that bad. But then when I was at the store looking at these things, I'm not looking forward to this at all. I'm like, oh, and we all chose the ones we wanted. So, did you spill it?
No, it's all.
Did you shake it first?
No, it's condensation.
You gotta shake it.
I didn't shake it.
Oh, you gotta shake it. No, you did it right though, because you gotta get a little bit out.
Yeah,
to give you some air, and then you can go to town. Oh, this is gonna be right in the mic. Mm-hmm.
Well, hey, they gotta know that it's real.
Nick, can you hear that smooth pour right there?
No.
I did actually.
This is a lot of orange juice.
That's a lot of orange juice. That's a lot of orange juice.
It's like there's barely a dent in that, and you pour a full cup.
It's a third. It'll be 3 nice big sized glasses.
You're gonna be sick.
What the hell is gonna happen to me?
Oh, that's a Smucker's Pop right there.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, I went with strawberry because I thought grape would be a little bit on the nose, and grape jelly can taste a little artificial. Not that this is not going to. There's just so much sugar in this shit. Anyway,
I'm really thankful that I have not lost yet. Knock on wood.
But this week the Patriots won, so they screwed me week 1. We're back week 2. But
I'm in the hole for 2.
At least you get to drink yours. I got basically drinking or eating like Jello. Oh, look at that. Okay. We're just gonna do it. But anyway, we will be doing this throughout.
Yeah, doing this throughout. So.
Harbaugh. I'm kind of convincing myself that it is gutsy now, even though I still don't think it's gutsy, because if it's you can only lose if you don't convert it. If you decide to punt, yes, Mahomes has to go 80 yards with under a minute left, and he very well could do that. But at that point, it's not like you made a bad coaching call. You're not putting your name on this decision. You're saying I'm doing the smart thing, which is punt it. And if my defense gives up, that's my I guess you're passing the buck to your defensive coordinator, right?
You totally are.
But still, it's more that Mahomes is that good than you are that bad or that dumb. So
if it's the Jets, he's punting. If it's the Jets,
absolutely. Well, the other thing too is they were only up by a point.
Right. So the field goal
changes everything.
Right.
So.
And Mahomes could get 40 yards in 30 seconds.
Yeah, that offense, they could do that. Not good.
Gosh. Is it because you're thinking that it's Joe?
No. A couple of things. It's not cold enough, and it doesn't taste like strawberry.
What's it taste like?
It tastes like sweet, sugary nastiness.
Well, because you don't have the jam. If you had strawberry jam,
if I walked in here on a challenge that is called Jelly Belly, if I walked in here with jam, I would not have been able to look myself in the mirror.
You would have got a lot of shit for it from this party too. So
you could have just changed the name of the competition to a jam slam or something.
Listen, once the jam slam. You're absolutely right. Next year maybe. Anyway, so I wanted to talk some NASCAR because we're in the thick of the playoffs. I don't really know what's going on. But I want to know what's going on. I think since we have him here, Nick doesn't. I don't think Nick knows all the point scenarios, but he knows who's good and who's not good, and that's all I really care about right
All right. Well, basically, all you need to know from the night race on Saturday, Bristol. So that was an awesome race.
Yeah.
Then he kind of stinks. He freaking slid up into Kyle Larson and got a flat and took himself out of the race. Again, he likes to do that, take himself out of the race. And then the end of it, so basically what happened, if I can remember correctly, which I might be a little wrong, is Harvick and Chase Elliott were battling back and forth, and then something happened to Chase Elliott. I can't remember if they got into each other and that sent Chase Elliott back or like made him have to pit, or if it was just an actual pit strategy. But basically, Chase Elliott was a lap down or fighting off being a lap down, and he was blocking Kevin Harvick from getting by him so Kevin Harvick can race Kyle Larson for the lead. And because of that, Kevin Harvick was pissed, and Chase Elliott was like, I don't really care. And Kyle Larson won, and I don't even remember him winning. All I remember is Harvick and Chase Elliott. They should have fought more than they did, but, they were getting into it.
And this is why you cannot listen to NASCAR on the radio.
That is so not true. I get that was a funny joke, but that's not true at all. I encourage you to listen to it on the radio. It's because as soon as the guys get going and like freaking out about something, it sounds just like if you're watching a baseball game on the radio. It's not that different. There's not a ton that happens throughout the course of like a couple 20 laps, but when it does, it's a really cool
Baseball
call.
on the radio is a lot of like just anecdotal stories,
Yeah, because you have to really like the commentators on that.
Yeah, that is like you gotta like the people that you're listening to.
Dude,
But
Nick, did something happen with? Why was he getting booed the other day? Did you
Who?
hear about that? Denny.
No, I didn't hear about that.
I think something happened with his girlfriend.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, that was a little Twitter thing. She was posting a bunch of bad stuff about him, and that's all I've really heard about it. Outside of that, I haven't heard much else.
You know what this is? It's like if honey congealed together.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like honey. It's like
Honey?
It's just sweet. There's no flavor.
Is
There's
there
no
honey in there?
I would hope not.
Why don't you read off the ingredients?
Strawberry juice is the first. That's a good start.
Yeah, that's good
But
stuff.
have you ever juiced a strawberry?
No.
Okay. High fructose corn syrup.
Ooh, there you go.
Wait, there's high fructose corn syrup and corn syrup in there?
I think is corn syrup just corn syrup because they don't want to call it low fructose corn syrup.
Well, I think they just pumped up the fructose in the other.
It's just extra high.
Yeah.
Okay.
We need to get our resident farm expert on here to talk about that process.
Yeah. We're waiting for the masters to come back. Anyway, fruit pectin, which is the thing that is in most preserves that keeps it preserved, and then citric acid. So not that long of a list, but this tastes nasty, and it's so hot in this damn garage. This is just like melting into like some kind of soup.
well, at least you're not
Better eat
drinking
quick.
warm orange juice.
And first of all, I tried to get that as chilled as I could,
That's
and
fine.
I would so much rather drink orange juice.
I would too.
This is
sure.
It is a lot.
It's a lot of orange juice.
Oh.
Well, I'm getting there.
I'm not looking forward to the time where my team loses because it's gonna happen. And
I might. You're worried about him spewing. I might not make it through that.
So
Okay.
do you have to finish this before the show's over?
I'm gonna do my damnedest.
Okay.
I'll finish before I leave tonight.
Well, the show. I mean, we're not even into the meat of it, so you got some time.
Yeah, I mean, my
Medium.
plan was to finish the OJ by the end of the show.
I mean, it's a drink too. You don't have to like chew it or like scoop it. You can just. I would chug orange juice so much easier
But
than
it
eating
fills up
this.
your tummy.
But jelly, you can just like you don't have to chew it. You can just swallow jelly.
Look, you got this. You got to chew. Just trust me on that one. Anyway.
It could be.
It's a lot of
peanut
jelly.
butter. You could be sitting here having to like talk with peanut butter in your mouth the entire time.
That's actually a good one. We could add that one.
That'd be tasty.
I'd do it.
Anyway, I don't want to. I don't want to. I wish that there was more going on. Our teams are losing in baseball.
Oh, that's not true.
Our team's losing.
Well, your team. No, actually,
Phillies.
you're getting there.
They lost to the Orioles last night though, which was a
You
bad
cannot
loss.
lose those games.
No, you can't lose. But the Phillies are only 2 games out of first place,
And their schedule's not that hard.
they can do it.
They have
They play the Braves
Orioles,
3 times.
Then they have the Braves, which is who they need to beat.
Yep, and they have the Marlins, the Pirates, and the Nationals. Easy teams. All I gotta do is just win.
Do they control their own destiny?
They absolutely control their own.
Whereas the Braves actually have a little bit. They have
They
a
play
tougher
San Diego,
schedule.
I
They
think.
play the Padres. They play. Crap! Do they play the Brewers again?
They might.
They might play the Brewers again. If they have to go through the Brewers
It's
and
gonna be
the
tough.
Padres, like the Phillies could do
The
it.
problem with the Phillies is that outside of their starting 3 pitchers, like literally, I think they have a hot dog vendor pitching their 4th game, and like the Bat Boys pitching the 5th game. Like they literally like every 5 games the bullpen just pitches a game. That is not a good situation to be in if you're trying to make the playoffs. It's not good.
Tough.
But man, Bryce Harper is making a run for the MVP consideration
What?
down the stretch.
He is, yeah, he is.
He's. I mean, the reason why the Phillies are winning or are even in contention right now is because that dude is just. I mean, he's firing on all.
Are you being like a
cylinders.
little homerish?
No, I'm being serious. I mean,
No, he's like over 300 batting average. He's got, I think, 30 some home runs, or maybe
Yeah.
it's close.
and all of it's happened in the last. Like he's batting like 380 in the month of September, and
He's
he's got
doing very well.
like 6 home runs and a lot of RBIs. Like if the Bryce Harper's hitting, the Phillies win that game.
I haven't really heard his name much at all throughout the whole season.
He's been quiet, but like his stats are really good this year. I mean,
That's just another reason why baseball's too long of a damn season. If everybody only played over the course of 3 months, then you're either good during those 3 months or you're not, and that determines whether you're good or not. How does a team say they have to, at the end of the year they have to look back at their roster and be like, well, this guy was good early, this guy was good late. We can only keep one of them.
I also trade half their team midway through the season.
Yeah.
well, that's if you're a
depending
Pirates
on
fan.
Yeah, true.
That's what the Pirates. But I don't know.
You don't even have the same players at the end of the season.
Be good the whole time. If there are such high peaks and such low valleys for a single player, the season's too long. I mean,
I don't think that there's that many peaks. I think that just shows when players can be great. I mean, Bryce Harper is consistently batting 290. Then one month he just tears it up and the team needs him the most. You know what I mean? So his batting average now is like 315, which is awesome. But but he was always like consistent. Now he's peaking at the right time, which is exactly what you want your star player to do.
if he has actually been consistent that whole time, then that's fine.
He has.
Well, he has.
Okay.
I mean,
well,
you don't get a 300 plus batting average throughout the course of the season if you're playing garbage.
I get
for
that.
Most of the
You
time.
could also argue, why can't you just be that good the whole time?
Because baseball's hard. You can't be that good.
Baseball's too long.
It's not too
It's
long.
hard to sustain excellence at that level for too long of a time.
It's a completely different sport, Kev. It's like
I'm not comparing it to any other sport. I'm just talking about a player's performance, how it can go up and down. And baseball seems to be pretty
that's just
volatile.
like golf.
Yeah,
golf
is the exact
players'
same.
Golf
performance.
is exactly the same because the season never ends.
NASCAR too. I mean, there's guys that get hot. There's guys that are consistently good. There's guys that win. It's just the way those sports go. Sports.
NASCAR could be shorter, but they only race once a week. So that is a little bit different. I mean, there's only 50. There isn't 52 races, but if they did one a week, Nick, how many are there? 36. Like 36 races in
Oh
a
my
season,
God.
including the playoffs.
That's a lot.
Well, it's a lot, but it's nothing compared to 160.
180.
You know.
Okay.
I'm just.
My
saying.
problem is that I stopped watching after July.
That's the problem. That's the problem. If your
Like I don't
team's
care
out of it-
anymore.
If your team's out of the All-Star break, baseball's over. Everyone gets. Like,
It's not even that. When football starts, it's done. I don't care. I haven't watched baseball literally since like July 31st when we went to a game.
Yeah.
Like I just have not even watched it.
Once training camp starts in football, it's.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Hey, how about those Cardinals? Oh, making a run. Huh?
The St. Louis Cardinals.
That's right.
Who cares?
I'm just saying.
You're a
They're
Padres
not your
fan.
team.
I know. But they're a team. We
Are
can't.
they making a run?
We
What are
can
they
only.
gonna run for?
we
They're
can
not
only-
gonna catch the Brewers.
We can only talk about our own teams. I'm just talking about.
I hate the Cardinals.
The
though.
Cardinals
I
are
hate the
solidly in
Cardinals,
the playoffs right now. I mean, they're not in, but they're solidly in that wild card spot.
The only teams that are in for the NL are the Brewers, the Dodgers, and the Giants.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wild card is going to be one ferocious one game. I mean, you're going to have to go through either the Giants or the Dodgers.
Yeah,
in
exactly.
one game.
Good job, Cardinals. You get to play one game against
I get one other thing to say.
Clark Kershaw.
You're gonna play this entire season, and you get one game. What is that about? It's expanded.
Well, what do you need? One game should be enough, Kev. If you want to shorten the season, one game should be all you need.
If you shorten the regular season, then one game is fine. But it's crazy long. So then you get one shot to actually make the playoffs.
Shoot your shot, yeah.
Shoot your shot.
Yeah.
Shoot your shot.
Yeah. You win, you're in. That's actually better for it sucks for a team like the Dodgers, who is clear. They're like, if the Dodgers are the first wild card team,
They're up by like 14
They're up by.
games.
I mean, they should be in the playoffs and have a full series. They get one game. All it takes is the Cardinals or the Reds or whatever to just win one game, and then they're out.
Are they resting everyone? Do they have a chance to actually win the division?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
They're
And they
only
want
like-
to win the division because then you don't have to expose yourself to that one game.
Of course. If they made the playoffs, but they weren't actually contending for the division anymore, like it's mathematically out. Let's say there's 7 games left in the season. Would you be opposed to them we're just gonna have them forfeit those games as long as it doesn't have any other implications, or just rest every good player?
You can't do
Can't do
that.
that.
What do you mean you can't?
Because the streaks rely on that consistent amount of
You
play.
can't take all of your batters out for an entire week and then have them go play one
Because
game.
why?
Because you get rusty.
Exactly.
That's why they play so many games.
Right.
You're proving the point.
No. That's why they should play fewer games, because you knock the rust off at the very beginning of the season, and then you're just hot. You're just good the entire time till you make the playoffs and you win. Why go through this whole charade of having to get ready and you don't want to slow down because then you'll get cold and then you have to warm back up again. It's like, just be hot the whole time.
You can't. A team. If you were to do that, okay. If you were to, let's just say May, at the end of May is when the season's over, and you have 2 full months of baseball. That's 60-some games. Look at the standings in May and who's actually in it. The Pirates might have a chance to make the playoffs, for crying out loud, and they're a terrible team. You need that period of time for all the like little streaky whatever that happens right out of the gate to settle down to where the teams that are really good, the cream rises to the top.
If they were that good, they would show it early, and then we'd all know. We've all known for months now that the Rays, the Giants, the Dodgers are the 3 of the best teams in the league. It's no question. If they didn't make the playoffs, it would be a travesty to the football world. It would be baseball world. No one would see it coming because we know they are good already. Why are they playing all these games if we already know they're the best teams?
Well,
It could
that's
be
what
good
we
on
thought
paper, but
about
you
the
gotta play it out.
Padres early on, and the Padres are almost out of the playoffs. So, if you're gonna end the season, like that
doesn't prove anything.
Yeah, it's the beauty of the length of the season is that the system is fine. You need to perform well at the right times. It makes sense.
You have to build for the long term. You have to build for guys that are consistent for a long period of time.
Perform-
Not just the flashes in the pan.
If you need to perform at the right times, then and your goal should it at the very heart of sports to win the game.
Yeah, but
the games you play. Wouldn't you then the ultimate goal would to be win every single game, right? So being good at the right time would be every game, wouldn't it? Just on principle alone. But no, because of the way the system is, you need to manipulate and change things and tweak things so that you are rising at the right time. You're rising at the end of August and September to make that run.
Yeah, you're building towards something. Yeah.
You're
right.
You shouldn't need to build that momentum.
Every team does that. Every team in every sport does that.
That's not necessarily true.
It absolutely is.
No.
True.
Yeah,
Our
the
goal is
reason
building
why
towards
the
it.
off season in football is so long is because they have all the things like the combine and all that kind of stuff where they're building the pieces of their team to build a championship team.
If you boil it down to anything, why don't we let's just have a playoff system. Everyone plays one game, and whoever wins that one game, they win in every sport. That's what you're basically boiling it down to. That's your whole argument. Is that everything else is a waste of time. The entire regular season of every sport is just kind of silly. Because if you're going to be good, just be good. Be good that one game, win the playoff game, and be done. Win the championship.
What I'm trying to say is, you need to sorry, Nick, we're kind of like blocking Nick out. You need to find the balance between enough time to determine who is good, but then not so long that those good teams like become not good because the season's too damn long, and players get hurt and things like it doesn't make any. The length of time does not make any sense.
Which team out there in baseball is a victim of that? Of the length
Padres.
being too long.
They were great in the first 3 months.
This is where
No. That's actually not where it comes from.
It definitely comes from.
Again, I didn't start watching. The season didn't begin for me until like a couple weeks ago. So like I haven't really been watching all that much. I'm just saying, on principle,
watching, though, when your team was already in the wild, like almost
out of the playoffs. Well, that's all fine. In my opinion, from my eyes, Padres were like good, not great this year, right? Because they didn't play when they needed to play. They weren't good when they needed to be good. I think it's all
as good.
That's not true. That's not true. They weren't good.
The record shows it.
The record's better than half the teams in your division.
No, they're
really.
about the same
as
the Phillies, right?
They are.
No, I just looked at it. Doesn't matter.
They both have like a little bit over 70 wins. Go ahead, Nick.
I was just going to ask Kevin, how long should the season be to where you would be happy enough that you feel like you saw enough from the teams to know who's good, but you're also like happy with, it not being too long?
I appreciate the question. I think that if every starting pitcher if your 5 starting pitchers had 10 starts, I think that'd be enough time.
50 games.
50 to 60
games.
So May we're done.
Not including the playoffs.
At the end of May we're finished.
Well,
Baseball lasts 2 months.
Well, I wouldn't actually start it. Well, I would spread the games out so you can charge more for advertising. You get the ticket price could go up
if you spread the games out, then you don't need
5 starters.
Fuck it, you can still have you. Why not? Why not have them? See, this is you're trying to. It doesn't. You can still do that. You can still have those 5
silly
pitchers.
to do that though. Well, you'd have 3 starters, and they'd all be on full rest, and they would be the 3 best pitchers that you could possibly find.
Okay, fine. Let's have the baseball season last, including the playoffs, 3.5 months. I'm fine with that. Who cares? Baseball or football only lasts September, October, November, December, and then playoffs. You get the playoffs, but there's only a couple games there. I'm just saying.
I think they should just have baseball playoffs start in August and maybe go into September. Boom, done.
I'm fine with that too. I would love that, right? To have baseball end right before football starts.
Right.
And that makes total sense to me. It's a summer.
That's all I want.
Why are we playing with beanie hats on and gloves? I mean,
why are they playing in November? It's like snowing half the time in November.
They barely play into November.
They do.
Barely.
I'm just saying, even October, it's cold. Like,
Nick, that's
not a time for baseball.
October baseball is October. That's why October.
I don't even watch October baseball.
October.
Nick, your team's never in October baseball.
I know.
The Pirates have been operating under the assumption that the season ends in July this entire time.
Hey, Nick.
So it makes sense.
Hey Nick, did the Colts make the Super Bowl last year?
No.
Did you watch the Super Bowl last year?
Yes.
I think that's a good transition to football. I think my point's been made.
I think this conversation definitely needs to be over.
I think Nick nailed it. Thank you, Nick. I couldn't have done it without you.
How's that jelly?
It's almost gone, and I think I figured out. The strategy. Don't even try to taste it. You're right, Drew. It is smooth enough to chew, or to not chew. You just down the hatch and try to ignore it. If you let it linger, you just think too much about it, and it's not pleasant at all. How's the orange juice?
I'm full.
Where's the other bottle at?
Oh yeah, you're
making some headway.
We're both doing good. Okay,
Wow.
well, we'll see. This is like. I wonder how much sugar is this. It's like 12 grams per serving. There's 17 grams.
This is my second glass.
I could be in trouble.
Wait. There's 12 grams.
Oof.
We should.
There's 12 grams of serving, and there's 17 servings. Oh,
Yeah.
that is a lot. Nick,
Wow.
can you do that math real quick? How much sugar Kevin ate?
Eating.
I cannot do that math real quick.
Let's just not worry about it.
You probably could just fill that whole jar up with sugar, and that's what you'd be eating.
Oh yeah, that's probably accurate.
I'm about to drink 770 calories.
I'm eating more.
Oh my god.
It doesn't matter. That's not what this is about. Our damn helmet's lost, which is a great transition to football. So we got another set of 5 games that we'll go through. Before we do that, I just want to say, the Kansas City Chiefs over Baltimore, not even a question. Chiefs, not even a question.
Yeah, we all picked Chiefs.
We all picked Chiefs, but Scotty, no questioned Chiefs.
I would no question make that same exact prediction again if I had to. If they were playing again this weekend, I would absolutely take the Chiefs minus 5 or whatever it was.
Did you watch the game?
I watched the game.
Why would you do that again then?
Because it's one game. If they played him again, Chiefs would be better.
Yeah, but what did you watch that made you think that in another rematch, not even a question, I would take the Chiefs?
Well, because it was 4th and whatever, and they went for it and they got it. So like if that didn't happen, you gave Mahomes a minute.
They'd scheme better for Lamar.
You're not gonna. No, I won't let you work out of this because my whole point last time was that you just so flippantly you just went at it and it's okay. I'm gonna do this again. Forget it. We're Arizona at Jacksonville. Arizona minus 7.5.
Arizona easy, without a doubt.
You know what's what's funny about this week, and I was looking through the games. I chose some closer games in terms of the spread anyway. There's a lot of mismatches this week. The only other one that's not in here that was kind of close was the Broncos and the Jets. But there's like the Lions are playing a really good team. Like there's a lot of like not really that close. But anyway, Arizona and Jacksonville. I mean, Arizona's got a really good offense. We've seen that already. Even though that was a shootout with the Vikings last week. I
was really impressed with what the Vikings were able to do against the Cardinals defense, considering the Cardinals defense really did a good job of maintaining the Titans. And you could really argue that the Titans and the Vikings offenses are structured very similarly, where they're very run heavy, but also have really good passing threats too. So the fact that the Vikings were able to potentially learn from what the Titans did, and they scored a lot of points, and they scored a lot of points early.
Yeah.
But it didn't matter. The Cardinals offense is that good. It's insane how Kyler Murray can just run around and just find open guys.
He looks like he's playing at a different speed.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, it just looks like you wound up like it's like a 1.25 speed you're rewatching, and he's just crazy fast. Yeah. I mean, I think I was talking to you about this. Maybe I was talking to somebody else. About Urban Meyer. Like, he's the most unlikable guy in the sport, but for some reason, and it's probably only because he's tied to Ohio State, and we are, whatever. I went there and all that stuff. For some reason, I find myself wanting him to kind of just do it well-ish. Like, I'm not rooting for the guy, but I'm just rooting, like, the small little tie to Ohio State to do okay. But there's nothing going right there. Like, I think it was a little bit false for us to just be like, oh, well, they have Trevor Lawrence. Oh, they have Urban Meyer. And like, they're going to be okay this year. Why would we ever think that? Well, I think there was just I think people...
There was a perception that Trevor Lawrence would be the guy and turn things around because of how he played in college, but I don't think that that's super transferable to, like, the pro schemes that are out there. Like, you really have to... I mean, it might be a good coach-quarterback pairing, but like...
I just think that people are a little bit surprised at how bad they are. But they were the worst team. I don't think we should... I think people may have lost a little bit of sight of that, how bad they actually... How much work there actually is to do on this team. So everybody's saying, like, oh, what the hell's going on in Jacksonville? But it's going to take some time. Like, even with the USC guy getting fired, it's like, oh, Urban Meyer's name is like attached to USC all of a sudden, but no, he hasn't done anything to make us think that he's actually going to leave, and he won't. But anyway, I don't know that this week against Arizona and a really good offense that they'll even be able to cover. So I'm going Arizona as well.
I'm also picking
Arizona for sure.
Yeah. I think that's going to be across the board here. But I just think that offense is way too good. And Jacksonville hasn't showed me anything yet. So.
Next one is Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh minus 4.5. This is actually more interesting than I think most would think.
I'll go first.
Go for it.
I'm picking Cincinnati. And I'll tell you why. Because I think that the Steelers are a very, very, very choky team. They always underperform against teams that they should be able to beat. So I think that Cincinnati's offense can put up enough points to cover that spread. I think that they might lose by like a field goal or win by like a field goal. So I think that's just a little too high for Pittsburgh. I think that they got banged up in the game last week and just not impressing me.
I think Andrew just convinced me. I'm going Bengals too.
Wow, I'm really shocked.
I was going to choose the Steelers, but you know what? Everything he said was right, so I'm going Bengals.
I'm absolutely going Pittsburgh. And it's not necessarily... No, it has less to do with how good I think Cincinnati is and more to do with the Steelers just lost to the Raiders at home. Like, they're going to come out probably pissed. I think they have one of the worst offensive lines in the league. But they won 11 straight games last year. They're not that bad. I mean, they almost beat they beat the Bills. The Bills are a really good team. Mm-hmm. So it's like they can play football. I don't think they'll hold up the whole season. I think after losing to the Raiders like that, I think they'll come out and win. I don't think they're going to crush them at all, but I think they'll win.
As much as I don't want to admit this, I'm going to go with Steelers too, because the Bengals, they've been able to put up a lot of points. They lost their game last week. Week 1, they won by 3. Week 2, they lost by 3. They were in it the entire time, both games. They're going to be good. They're going to be competitive. But that offensive line for the Bengals, Joe Burrow still looks like he's getting rushed almost every single play. The Steelers, if TJ Watt is healthy and he plays, they're gonna destroy him.
Even if he's not, I mean,
it's gonna be bad. So, and it's at Pittsburgh. Like Kevin said, they just came off a loss to the Raiders. I don't see the Bengals even coming close to covering here.
All right, Tampa. This is a good one. I think this might be like the game of the week in terms of ratings. Tampa Bay at the Rams. It's actually LA -1. So LA is the favorite for now. I went with the Rams. I don't know about this game. Like last season, even when you were watching Tom Brady with the Bucs, obviously they were great. They won their division and all that stuff. They were fantastic. But there were some games where Brady just, because I had him in fantasy, which is a part of the reason I know this. They just didn't. Their offense wasn't as good as people probably thought they would be. The Rams are really good. And this is going to be. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game. Both of these are the two best defenses in football right now, and the Rams and the Buccaneers. So I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, even with two great quarterbacks and a lot of great offensive weapons. I don't know. I'm going Rams, but I think they might just win.
I'm going Rams too, because I think that the Rams defense is better than the Buccaneers defense. I think that's the difference. I think the offenses are about the same. I wouldn't be shocked if this is actually a fairly high. Is it a Sunday night game or is it?
No, it's like a 4 o'clock game.
4 o'clock game. Wow. I wouldn't be surprised if both teams pass the ball pretty well and they're able to score some points, but I think the Rams win this one.
I also chose the Rams this week. I just believe in Stafford. I think he's going to do it.
Stafford.
I love Stafford.
This is a good fit for him.
It's honestly like what he's always kind of deserved. So I'm just excited for him. So I want to keep riding the train.
This soundbite, Nick, we'll get you in here in a second. But this notion has been passed around a little bit this last week, ever since Stafford had that. He had a primetime game, I think week 1, right?
Yeah.
And everybody's talking about how, and this is not my original thought, but people are like, oh, finally Stafford has a good team around him and he has some weapons and this is what he deserves. But he played with Calvin Johnson for like 8 seasons.
Years, yeah.
So it's like he didn't have like shit in Detroit. He just never had good coaching and
good defense.
And never a good defense. So I agree. I'm very happy for the player himself. He's a tough dude. He plays through injuries too. So, Nick, what do you think, man?
I'm going to go with Tampa Bay. Just because I think their offense is going to be able to outscore the Rams' offense. So,
wow,
that's analysis. Last 2 games are the primetime games. We'll start with the Monday night game. It's Philly at Dallas.
Oh.
Dallas -4. That's going to be a good game. Both of these games are going to be good.
It's going to be a good game. I need to go with Dallas here because I need Dallas to get a big win. Dak Prescott screwed me in fantasy football last week by not scoring a touchdown at all. He handed the ball off for like the 5 touchdowns they scored. I think the Cowboys are going to win Monday night. Where are they playing at?
It's in Dallas.
It's in Dallas. Oh, they're winning.
Arlington.
They're going to win by 7. Easy.
See, I think that these games, like this division is the worst to predict because they're always like, they just flop against each other. They don't really play very well against each other.
That's the best way to put it.
It's like every time you watch these divisional games, like, the Giants, whatever, they all just like bomb against each other and they don't score a lot of points. They're just garbage games. They're not fun to watch.
Well, I don't know about that. I might be taking it a step too far.
Not for me. They're not fun to watch.
Okay.
But I'm taking Philly here. I think the Phillies offense can do it. It wasn't like that big of a spread, so I think Philly could cover here.
Nick?
I was going to go with Philly too, just because I think Jalen Hurts is going to put on a show. And I always like rooting against Dallas, so there you go.
I went Philly as well. I don't know if I have a good reason. I think that Philly's defense playing that well against San Francisco was impressive. Although, didn't they just lose? They lost Brandon Graham, I believe.
Yeah.
Which is tough. That dude's actually he's like one of those sneaky good players. It's always like Cam Hayward, kind of for the Steelers. I know we know his name because we are in Pittsburgh. But he's one of those guys that's been around a long time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he's always been pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Like if Ndamukong Suh wasn't such a high draft pick, he'd also be one of those guys.
Right.
Like, oh man, Suh's still playing. Like he's still killing it. I don't know where I was going with that. Philly. Last game. This is a Sunday night football game. It's Green Bay at San Francisco. It's San Francisco is the favorite, -4. I'll start. I think the Packers are gonna kill this right here. I mean, I don't think that they're that much better, but I think that Green Bay is gonna get things rolling after a good, solid. Just I'd call it a beatdown, but beatdowns are I guess more than solid if you're ranking performances, but. Against Detroit, I don't know. I think Aaron Rodgers in prime time is just harder to bet against.
Yeah, there's no way that the Packers are winning this game. I mean, they're absolutely. There's just no way that they lose this. They can't.
There's a way.
Well, I mean,
I get what you're saying.
But 49ers -4. I mean, no. I mean, okay, maybe.
I wasn't expecting the Packers to get whomped on like they did week 1.
No one did.
I think that, there is a chance that the game is like kind of high scoring because I think that the Packers defense is like really not that great. But I do think that Aaron Rodgers has this. I mean, that offense just can put up so many points. Like it's very high caliber. So I also picked the Packers.
Nick.
Going with Green Bay too, just kind of for the same reasons you guys did. I think they really got hot late in the game, yesterday, like the second half, and I think their offense is gonna keep it going into next week. So
I think by game time, that -4 spread is gonna shrink to basically nothing because Nobody's going to be betting for the 49ers here.
All right, let's go to the cauldron. The cauldron of
helmets.
Cauldron of helmets. Yes, that's right. Nick, I think we're going to start with you, buddy. Who do you want to draw for you? I'll do it.
I want Andrew to draw for me.
That's fine. Drew.
I haven't had much luck, Nick. I've lost 2 weeks in a
It's all
row.
right.
So
I'm going to take your luck from you right now.
All right, let's hear the rustling. Are all the helmets back in here?
They're all
Scott?
back in.
You hear that, Nick?
No, I hear it.
Oh. Let him roam it. Go for it, bud.
The Broncos.
Oh,
There you
you're
go.
playing the Jets.
The Broncos
Oh,
are
yeah.
playing. Yes.
I like that.
You want to keep it?
Absolutely.
Okay, Nick's keeping the Broncos.
Very nice, Nick. Let me get the schedule up here. I should have been prepared.
There's a lot of orange juice, boys.
How much
Oh,
more you
hey,
got to
Nick.
go?
Oh, and the Broncos.
I haven't refilled, but
The Coes are at home, too.
Ooh.
I know. First home game of the season.
It's pretty good helmets.
Nice.
Scott, Andrew.
Coming in 2-0.
yeah, I'll go.
Like a Creole chef.
The Bears.
The Bears.
Bears.
Chicago plays the Browns. They play the Browns in Cleveland.
I'm putting that back.
Justin Fields, come on, man.
Justin Fields
I
opener.
think the Browns will.
Hey, that'll be an interesting game. Justin Fields might get a pretty good reception.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Probably.
Oh, Jody and Caleb will be cheering for him.
Eagles.
The Eagles,
Ah.
as we mentioned.
I'll take it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All right, that's a good. I actually don't like that helmet, but I like
No,
it better than the Bears.
I need them to
Right.
win.
Scotty, you want to go next?
Yeah. The Titans.
Ooh, the Titans play at home against the Colts.
That's a
Potentially,
tough game.
potentially a Wenceless Colt. He has got the poor guy. Carson Wentz has 2 sprained ankles. Yes, 2 on both of his ankles. They're both sprained. Gosh, I just really want that guy to get healthy, man.
It's never going to.
It's never going to happen. I know, but I really want to see it. He could be so good. I mean, he was good. I venture so far as to say he is good.
This is so much orange.
Yeah,
juice.
we're both at the end of our. This sucks, man. It's very inconvenient.
It is. I'm
It is.
full. I'm so
I'm not.
full,
I'm
guys.
skipping dinner tonight because of the amount of sugar in this
You know,
jar.
I didn't drink knowing that I was doing this. I did not drink anything for most of the day, and I'm gonna have to pee so bad.
If I was smart, I mean, this would have added to the total intake here, but I would have brought some bread.
Yeah.
Just load up some jelly sandwiches.
Right.
Whiff. Next time.
Next time.
Are you gonna keep the Titans or not?
I'm going to put it back.
You're putting it back.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't. If Carson Wentz does play, I think that there's a good chance that they could win that game.
I think there's a good chance he won't play, but it's already back. So.
I'm in it for the free pass. Oh no! I got the Jets.
All right.
Against the
Oh,
Broncos.
man.
Jets.
All right. Well, that just leaves one.
Shoot! I guess I'm up for punishment.
The Ravens. Baltimore plays.
Hopefully, an easier team this time.
Baltimore plays in Detroit. I will be keeping the Ravens.
Ugh.
Excellent
Wow.
work today, boys. Top threes.
Wait, we're done?
Well, what else would you like to talk about? Something else?
I have a lot of orange juice left to drink. We can keep talking.
Okay. Well, I'm out of topics, so if you have one, let's go.
We can talk fantasy.
Well, let's do that out in the post show.
Okay, sorry.
Well, okay. Well, we're carrying over these inconveniences to the post fantasy show. You can join us there if you'd like to.
I got a top 3.
But the fantasy, show is really it's a little bit more niche. But yeah, you're welcome to join us. So, top threes for now. Scotty, who are you giving it to?
Give it to Andrew. Top 3 drinks for breakfast.
Fitting. Breakfast drinks. I like tea is my number 1. Coffee, then orange juice. Nick, I want your top 3. I want your top 3 light beers.
Wow. I guess Miller Lite.
Jeez. We've done this.
Labatt Blue Light. And
Come again?
did you not hear me?
Give us your last one more time.
It was Bush Light. Bush Light.
Of course it was. Yeah, we didn't even need
Of
you to say it.
Yeah, right. Okay. Let's see. Kevin, do you love street tacos?
Nick, your internet sucks, man.
Are you serious?
Go for it now.
3 types of Mexican food. Top 3.
Top 3 types of Mexican. The top 3 menu items.
Menu items, yes.
How specific do you want? Do you want generic, just like items?
Taco Bell.
If you have
No, we already did
specifics,
Taco Bell.
please share.
Okay. I thank you for that, Nick. I'm gonna go steak burrito. I'm gonna go al pastor taco, and then I'm gonna do ground beef soft shell taco.
Wow.
No. Thank you for
Great
asking.
choices.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Scott,
Yeah.
top 3 chores to do around the house.
Oh,
The best of the best.
the best chores. I would say mowing the lawn.
Hey, real quick, while you
Yeah.
think about it, is there any feeling better in the world than getting the mow right on that line? A fresh cut lawn and getting your lines perfect. Nick, it's just a good
Oh, yeah.
feeling.
Oh, listen.
Well, there are better feelings in the world, but that's
I don't
a
know.
pretty good-
When I was a kid, I'd always think it would be really weird when like Grandpa Ray would just be like staring out the window, because he just like he walked up and he'd be like looking out the window, and I was like, what's he looking at? Like I do that all the time now, because like like I have a house and like I mow the lawn, and I sometimes just like, all right, how's the lawn looking? Looking all right, okay. Just I probably gotta
Got a little weed over
yeah,
there.
I gotta rake those leaves up over there.
I wish I had that determination.
Like so, I'm just always staring out the window. I look weird, but that's exactly what I remember.
Top 2 chores.
Okay, so mowing the lawn. I would say after that, vacuuming, and number 1 would be
Let's talk about real quick. Vacuuming. Very similar to mowing the lawn.
Yeah.
Just inside.
Right. Number 1 would be cleaning the dishes.
Like putting them into the dishwasher.
No, I absolutely love. There's nothing. It's like power washing. Okay, so no, granted, I have a really nice faucet that has like one of those like pressurized like sprayers, and so
Must be nice.
oh yeah, it's so great. So like we'll have a spaghetti dinner,
Must be fucking
and there's like a pot with all the pasta sauce on it, and you just it's basically like power washing. It's so relaxing. You just zoom it out, and whatever, get the little soap. Put it in the dishwasher if it's dishwashable. Otherwise, you scrub it, and then you feel so accomplished. Like you're done. Like that's those 3 things is the best. The best feeling is it's something very simple, but you really feel like you made a difference in your house. Like everyone has left their dishes piled up, and you just feel bad about yourself when you look at your sink and you see all these dishes up there, and you're like, ugh, So just really quick.
Should I have explained my tacos a little bit more? Because
Yeah, I thought you were supposed to just give your answer and be done.
Hey, listen, this is the most entertaining stuff we've talked about today. So you're welcome.
Oh, by the way, we're gonna garage this time, so that's the show. Let's talk to you later. All right. So if you've listened this far, you must, for some reason, like what you've heard. So, given that, please remember to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at ObsessionCast for all future episode updates and whatever else we might post, sports related or otherwise. Thanks for watching.